I'm Janelle, the owner of Specialty Beads, and I'm going to show you how to make an Italian mesh ribbon necklace.
This is our mesh ribbon that we import from Italy. It comes in 4 sizes. This is the 20 millimeter, the 6 millimeter, the 2.5 millimeter, and the 1 millimeter. And in the 6 millimeter we have 28 colors. It's really soft, it's lightweight, and it doesn't tarnish or pick up dirt. Because it has an enamel coating that puts the color on. The biggest parameter in using the Italian mesh ribbon is that it's not weight bearing. So when you add a pendant, the weight of the pendant is going to pull down on the mesh and it will unruffle like that. So you have to add something that is straight to go with it that will hold the weight. Here are 3 examples of Italian mesh ribbon necklaces. In the first one, I've used the teal and the gold in the ruffled mesh, and then a 2.5 millimeter piece is added to be the straight piece. In this one I used the dusty blue in the mesh, and then a vintage chain is added to be the straight piece. And in this one I used 2 colors. I used the brown and the teal, and then I used 2 different regular ribbons to be part of holding the weight, and then also this little tiny 1.5 millimeter gold ribbon, and it makes for a lot of texture and nice colors together. I've cut the 2 Italian mesh ribbon pieces to be 26 inches because as you ruffle the mesh it shrinks down. So I want to cut about 1.5 times the length of the necklace. I'm going for a 17-inch necklace here. So I'm going to cut the straight piece to be 16 inches because when you add the ribbon ends and the clasp, that'll add the extra inch that'll make the 17 inches. And then we've picked out this really pretty coordinating lampwork pendant. So now I'm going to find the center of the Italian mesh ribbon, and I'm going to make a little crease right where it's at, like that. And I'm going to take the ends and I'm going to put them through the bail on the pendant and get it set up so that the mesh is right in the middle. Sorry about that. There you go. Then I'm going to start to ruffle. And you just go along and ruffle. I'm going to ruffle both sides a little ways and then go to the other side and ruffle it. I'm trying to keep that right in the middle. You ruffle it all the way to the end. And each person will ruffle slightly differently, but that's fine. Just ruffle it how it feels right to you. So now I have the gold ones ruffled. I'm going to go on to finish the black. And I have one more side here. At this point, I'm going to gather the ends on both sides, and once I've done that, I'm going to pull on it and see if the ruffled pieces are about the same length as the straight piece. So they are slightly longer, and that will vary for everyone depending on how much you ruffle it, how big your ruffles are. So I'm going to cut off the ends so that it will match a little bit better. You want it to be that however you ruffle it. I'm going to cut that off to there. There we go. Ready to start gluing, and this is a really crucial part in making an Italian mesh ribbon necklace because the fibers are really tiny, and so if we were to just put a ribbon end onto the end of the mesh ribbon, it wouldn't hold well. So what we're going to do is we're going to coat the ends of the mesh ribbon and the little ribbon also with E6000 glue. E6000 glue is one of my favorite glues anyway, but in this case it's really important because it will make a hardened surface that the teeth of the ribbon end can bite into. I'm going to slide a piece of cardstock under the mesh that will make it good for the glue. And then I'm going to get a little bit of E6000 on my fingers. And I'm going to stack the ribbons on top of each other and try to coat that end. And then I'm going to put it onto, it will stick automatically to the cardstock. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other end. I'm going to grab them. And then that I'm going to glue together and stick onto the cardstock. And then I'm going to wipe off my fingers, it's really sticky. But this one seems to not be right on top, so I'm going to make sure it gets on top. And I'm going to let that sit and dry for just a second. And then I pull it off, because by now, even in this short time, it will have stuck to each other. And then I let it sit like this and dry until it's really dry. I always go back and put on a second coat of the E6000 because I want that whole end to be really coated in glue. And then I let that also dry completely. So there you go with that. These are 7mm sterling ribbon ends. They're my favorite. I've added a lobster with the jump ring by just opening and closing it. It's really simple. They have little teeth inside and they're already pre-opened up, but you can open them up a little bit more if you need to. I'm going to put my ribbon, which is hardened up now, inside of there. Make sure that you get it all the way inside of there. And then coming over the top, I'm going to squeeze the ribbon. And I'm going to go around to this side and do it. I'm going to turn it over and squeeze it from the other side too. So see how nice that looks? And I'm going to take the other one and do the same thing. It's got to get inside of there. You can open it up more if you need to. There, didn't have to. And then same thing, I'm going to come over the top and squeeze it. And then go from one side, turn it over, and go to the other side. And then all we need to do is put the clasp on. You could use a toggle or another kind of clasp if you didn't want a lobster. We also recommend what we call freshening it each time you wear it. So it's straighten out both of the meshes and re-ruffle them each time. And that way it sets it and gets it ready for the next wearing. So I hope you have lots of fun with your necklace. Thanks.
If you have any questions, feel free to call or email me. You can find my contact info on our website, specialtybeads.com, or you can visit our little showroom in the Lake Tahoe area in the town of Truckee, California. Thanks.